Very good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, on 15th July 2021, Treasury Consulting Group is a multinational headquartered group based out Singapore. We have offices in three parts of the globe, which is India, Singapore, and Hong Kong. More importantly, we serve clients across the globe. We hold our own hedge fund, commodities platform, our own OTT platform over the top, our own learnings desk, which is Sheetal Academy, and many more. If you wish to have more information, you can definitely WhatsApp on my personal number, which is 9899242978. Alternatively, you can WhatsApp on our back office number 9818485155. In fact, from today, which is 15th July 2021, our OTT platform, over the top platform, TRFX Academy, would be launching yet another series, which is Wealth Management and Mutual Fund. In this wealth management and mutual fund, it is not trading, it is a learning platform which we are launching, which would be covering almost everything across the globe. We are planning to have around 200 to 250 videos covering wealth management and mutual fund probably by December 2021. Overall, OTT platform would be covering around 1000 videos. Target is 1000 videos by December 2021. 150 plus videos are already live. As we speak, many banks of the world, especially US banks and European banks and few Asian banks, they are getting ready for the LIBOR transition. And this is our third video in the series about the LIBOR transition. LIBOR transition is coming. The deadline is December 2021. And I don't think that Corona impact may end up having any deep or denting impact on the LIBOR transition, because LIBOR transition is completely online and it is happening. There's no doubt about that. To be honest, US banks are ready, but I don't think that European and Asian banks are ready. When Indian banks forget ready, they even do not know what to do, and they would be doing the LIBOR transition at the last moment. How effective it would be, we all understand that. Anyways, many banks of the globe have a system called Treasury Management System, which is known as TMS. In this Treasury Management System, the whole data, actually there are three systems which we have in the bank. The one is called ERP. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Generally ERP, SAP and Oracle, but some cases people use different ERPs also. Some big banks like Goldman, JP and others, they use their customized ERP also. If not customized, then they do heavy customization in the existing ERP. So more or less it's a customized ERP. We can call this as a prop ERP also. So one is ERP. ERP is nothing but a garbage. Whatever you put in the ERP, because one thing which ERP do have, that it do not have any analytics part. Whatever data which I'm feeding into the ERP, it do not have any analytics part. And since it do not have any analytics part, so it's very difficult to have the valuable data from the ERP. That is also a hard reality, and we need to accept that. To be honest, there is nothing wrong in that. Apart from that, we do have systems which is known as treasury management systems. As we speak, the treasury management systems worldwide is majority either by Murex or Calypso. Both are legacy based products and both are having their pros and cons. We have many videos about Calypso, you can refer our YouTube channel. They claim to be linked with artificial intelligence, but the hard reality we all understand, to be honest. Third thing, and very important thing which we do have, is the data mart. So actually, let me give you a simplistic example of data mart. Like you have a library, like I have a library. I have over 500 plus books, but I cannot remember all 500 books. And every time I cannot read 500 books, that is also very important. I keep few books in front and few books at the back. The books I keep in front are the regular reading books. Since my schedule is very busy, so it takes me 6 to 8 months to complete one book. But I always try. And the books which are at back doesn't mean they are useless, their turn will come later. Similarly is the data mart. Now data mart means that a bank do have tons and tons of data. Megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes. This is useless words for banks like Goldman Sachs and all. Terabyte is a useless word for Goldman Sachs. They have much more data than terabyte. And it is compounded after every day, which means that a huge amount of data, corona or no corona, it is coming into the picture. That is also a fact, to be honest. But the hard reality is that the LIBOR transition is coming. And the deadline of the LIBOR transition is December 2021. As I said, Corona will not have any denting impact on the LIBOR transition. That is also a fact. And we need to accept that fact, to be honest. Now, one important thing which we do have in this regard is that the systems which we have, whether it's ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, TMS, Treasury Management Systems, or Data Mart, they need to be addressed for 5 kind of issues. Now, what the hell 5 kind of issues are? I noted down in a piece of paper. Number 1 is the critical issues. I'm referring in order of importance. In order of importance means that the issue which is more important should be addressed first. The issue which is not important should be addressed later. One is critical issues. Now, in terms of LIBOR transition, the critical issues are the correct pointing of 9 RFRs, risk-free reference rate, example, SOFR, secured overnight financing rate, US dollar, SONIA, sterling overnight index average, ESTR, Euro short-term rate, TONA, Tokyo overnight average, and so on and so forth, CORA, SARON, ONIA, and all. And this correct pointing can only be possible from Reuters or Bloomberg. Even if you have OMS, Order Management System, or EMS, Execution Management System, the right pointing has to be come from either Reuters or Microsoft Excel model or both. And which is very tough, by the way. It looks easy, but not easy. Second important thing is the crash, which is called the valuation. Example, I'm just taking a hypothetical example. JP Morgan Chase having a client Microsoft. Of course, Microsoft is a big exporter of IT products. They are having ISDA agreement signed with the JP Morgan Chase. And now that ISDA agreement need to be amended as per the fallback language. Now, fallback language means that it's a language which is to be used when a key benchmark either amended, deleted, or modified. In this case, it is LIBOR, London Interbank Offer Rate. The valuation of an existing swap done between JP Morgan and Microsoft that needs to be amended, and that valuation impact goes either in P&L or balance sheet of JP Morgan Chase. In case of P&L, it do hit the bottom line, which is EPS, and which is definitely a concern for Goldman Sachs or for JP Morgan Chase. So this is crash, which means that if in any eventuality the valuation is not coming, then it's a mess. It can even distort the whole financial statement of JP Morgan Chase and led to the big mess up in the issue. Just a hypothetical example. Third I listed is the incorrect functionality. Now what is incorrect functionality? Let's take a simplistic example. In European Union, we have three rates. One is SONIA, Sterling Overnight Index Average. One is ONIA, Euro Overnight Index Average. And one is Euribor. I repeat, SONIA, Sterling Overnight Index Average. One is ONIA, Euro Overnight Index Average. And one is Euribor. Apparently speaking, 99% people do not know the difference between three. For most of the people, these, all three is same. But practically speaking, they are not same. That's another important thing. If I link SONIA with YONIA or SONIA with Euribor, then it's an incorrect functionality. Of course, valuation will distort. There is no doubt about that. But it's an incorrect functionality. Fourth I noted is the cosmetic changes. Now what is cosmetic is that small changes. So example, not very big changes which may or might not have a deep and denting impact. But that doesn't mean that we will overlook that. We cannot overlook that. That's also very important. We cannot overlook that. And fifth and last is the request, which means that request oblique pull out reports. That how the reporting would be happen. So basically there are five critical issues, five type of issues that we need to address from system wise. Number one is the critical issues. Number two is the crash. Number three is the incorrect functionality. Number four is the cosmetic, and number fifth is the request. This is our another video on the LIBOR transition. More videos are on the card. My personal number +91 9899242978. Thank you. Have a great time.